Hey guys, it is Gaz from 4Games Apocalypse here, and I'm doing something a little different today. I've wanted to do like kind of review type things for quite a while, so as I keep hitting my fucking but yeah, I wanted to try and do like review kind of things for quite a while. So what I've done is I've played a game for a little while. I mean, it kind of counts, but kind of doesn't count at the same time because I've been playing Overwatch. Overwatch is not out yet. Hopefully by the time this video goes up it still won't be out. But this is mainly going over the beta side, and I mean there's a common misconception when it comes to the word beta. I mean, me being a game developer, beta means something very different to what most people would regard as a beta. In the most common respect, a beta is, I would say it's a demo. It's a demo. It's a pretty much polished demo. And Blizzard have come out and said that everything that's in the beta at the moment will be what comes out in the final release. And, I mean, it's only a month away. So, you know, it's not too far-fetched. I mean, most betas, unless it is quite early in development, or something like early access, it's not a beta at that point because it is quite early. A beta, in most respects, is it's the finished build. It's the finished version that everyone's going to be having, minus a few bugs, which that's the whole point of the beta, so they can get bug reports from the players, which is not a bad thing. But some people do kind of label it as a beta, but beta implies that there's a long way to go before it's finally released. But I digress. This open beta, as it were, the demo that was released for Overwatch is, in all honesty, it's fantastic. And this whole video is going to be, there's going to be some like counterpoints and everything else, but so I keep like trying to focus on the camera. But one thing with this is that it's going to be mainly about talking about what Overwatch does well, because there's quite a few things that Overwatch does well. For example, it's one of the most diverse games I've ever played, and the reason I say that is that it's a diverse shooter. Most common shooters, going from Quake onwards through Call of Duty, Battlefield, and that kind of thing, I mean, have different kinds of things. For example, Call of Duty had different classes where you're mostly, it depends on what you run as a primary weapon. If you run a submachine gun, if you run assault rifle, sniper rifle, you know, that kind of thing. That's a slightly different in terms of classes. Battlefield did it slightly differently, where there's like you have a clear like different class. You have assault class, you have engineer, you've got support, and you've got sniper. Each one of them has a different thing. Each one of them has access to different weapons. Problem is with most of them is that it's still the same running gun shooty kind of thing. Most weapons, don't change your character, but in this sense, with Overwatch, it is designed in a way that it is based around the characters, not the guns. And the reason I say that is that there are each different character. There's 21 characters in Overwatch currently at the time of this video. By the time that, if people watch this, say a few months down the line, there might be more characters. Knowing Blizzard, they release them quite quickly. But it's in a respect that the game has quite a diverse cast. Each character feels really, really different to play. For example, there's blocks of character roles. For example, you've got offense, defense, tank, support. Offense are guys who are supposed to be going into the middle of the fight, trying to get as many kills as possible to activate the ultimates and help the team, mainly just to attack and to do the objective. Defense, usually designed to defend in some sort of shape or form, but can be used as offense. For example, there was a few characters, which I'll get into a bit later, that they are really good at attacking, even though they're considered defense characters. Usually the ones that carry a sniper rifle or something along those lines. You've got tanks who are just there to defend the team over the objective and just try and push up as well. So again, they're very multi-class, but usually a tank is pretty much crucial on most things. And you've got the support who will back up the entire team, giving them heals, giving them buffs of varying degree, and just trying to help people out. And each one of those in their class is so different. There's no real characters that are similar in any sort of respect. For example, there's two characters which I like to use as a example for this. You've got a character called Tjorborn. He's a dwarf from World of Warcraft. It's Blizzard. They're good at dwarves. They know how to do their dwarves. He is a dwarf. The difference is he's a dwarf that can put down a turret. So he's like a dwarf that's done gnomish engineering up until max level in WoW. He puts down a turret and can defend an area, and his ultimate upgrades the turret and does more, and he's allowed to do more damage and things like that. But at the same time, it's a little different because you've got not just him. He's a builder, but you've got Bastion, who is a robot who actually turns into a turret. Those two are very different, even though they're kind of the same in a respect. They're both heavy defenders. They are both able to have a place, either to place themselves or place something down to help defend an area. And it's still very different because of the fact that one is a guy with a turret and one is a turret. Also a tank, which is fucking cool, have to be honest. And I apologize if I start going, oh my god, this game's so good, because it's kind of hard to be objective when you've kind of fallen in love with something like this. But I will be trying. Again, with all the characters, I think what it feeds into very nicely is the fact that it feels like one of the old 90s shooters. I'm about mid-20s. I just missed Quake. I just missed things like, I mean, I had an N64, I had a PlayStation 1, I think I had I had a Dreamcast as well. That was kind of my time. That was the time that my inception into the gaming world. I didn't have a Super Nintendo, I didn't have a Sega, I didn't have any of that kind of thing. But also, at that fact, I didn't have a computer either. I had no computers whatsoever. I mean, when we had a computer, I wasn't really able to go for gaming. It was just more as a general kind of purpose use thing, but I liked computers, I liked games. Hence kind of where I am now. And with that, I didn't have much experience with things like the Quake series and the Doom series. A lot of that kind of thing I had to just rediscover over time, especially because while I'm at university, one of my modules was, or one of my subjects, as it were, for some people would be modding Quake. That was something I had to do, and I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed playing Quake with like my friends, just sitting in this room of Macs because we had to play on Linux, and all the Macs ran Linux, and we were just playing Quake for an hour while we were trying to do work, that kind of thing. And it was a lot of fun. It was I can understand people's appeal, but it was slightly before my time. I was kind of in the middle sweet spot. It's not really a sweet spot though, because I did miss out on a few things. But I had the whole PS1. I had the N64. I actually liked the Dreamcast, but that's just me, because I had it at the end. That's a different discussion. That's a different discussion. Going off track. But after playing Quake a lot, and then looking at footage for Overwatch, and then actually playing Overwatch, and listen to some of the developers talk about it, because I think it was GameSpot who did like a 3-part documentary type thing, about Overwatch. And one of the whole things that the design prospects that they kind of went with was that the game was supposed to be like Quake. It was supposed to be like Doom, the original Team Fortress, that kind of thing, but modernized. People still play Quake now. There are still Quake tournaments. I know QuakeCon still has Quake things going on. There's Quake Live. I'm not saying that that's dead and gone, but it's not as popular as what it was because it's not the norm anymore. And what this game is trying to do is that it's kind of bringing that concept forward to the modern era, so the people like me who missed out on Quake the first time round, or some of the younger generation that would have no idea what Quake is. Absolutely no clue. Which, I don't envy them, in a sense. But, I mean, I had to discover it, But, people like that. And even the older generation, well, I don't really play Quake anymore, but I want something new. I don't want to play, Call of Duty, because it's not the thing. I want something fast. I want something that I can have big rockets and blow stuff up and just go in and just try and have a good time. Like, that is still something that is definitely a thing. So I just need to just realize my audio thing was slightly too loud. But like that, those are I think what makes Overwatch great in some respects is that it is trying to be the old Quake. It's trying to bring Quake to the new grounds of gaming and kind of making it more relevant. It's because you've got rocket launchers, you've got loads of maneuverability, you've got verticality because you can go up, you've got guys with jetpacks, grenades, people who turn into turrets, giant gorillas with lasers like that, or lightning guns that get pissed off and smash everything. Now, you think about that in comparison to Quake, and Quake was its big selling point was that everyone was still on an equal playing field apart from what guns you got. But in this case, everyone is still on an equal playing field. It depends on what character you're playing. And there's always a fair comparison to be made, like things like MOBAs. And I hate that comparison, but it is something I have to say. League of Legends is a MOBA that is, I wouldn't say it's not defining because Dota was the original. But League of Legends has you have one character for that entire 40 minutes on average. You pick a lane, you pick a role, and that is who you are. That is it. Until the end of the match, and you're like, well, I didn't really do well that character. You still have to wait until you get into the next game to try and do something different. Overwatch, at least because it is a shooter, it's trying to be more fast-paced, and what it does is that you can switch it on the fly like you would class in COD. You can go from playing Tracer, who's very quick, who can kind of return her position in time and, get ready up there and do loads of damage, to someone like Reinhardt, who's got big burly guy in armor with a big hammer and a shield, helping the team. You can work around what is going on in the game. And the skill set for each character, they're easy to learn and hard to master, which is nice because, for example, if you have loads of people playing one character, which is still possible because you can switch characters on the fly and there's no limit. You can go up against 6 of the same characters. There's a 6v6. And there are easy ways to get around that. But in League, that's sometimes a very difficult thing to try and deal with. It's very rare. Because, you can't have 6 of the same, but you can have 6 of the same kind of, like, 6 mages. So you've got, like, maybe Lissandra, Veigar, Anivia. You've got, probably Ezreal running blue build, and I'm just trying to think of an AP jungler. Maybe, I think Rek'Sai's an AP jungler. But, like, you've got shit like that. And, yes, you can buy an item towards it, but you can't fully defend against it, because they can, obviously, do shit tons. Usually it's a troll team, but those things kind of happen. But at least in Overwatch, that's very hard to... It's very easy to beat and hard to keep going. For example, if you and everyone else run 6 of the same character, for example, you're defending a point and everyone goes Bastion. I played a match like that, and it was quite funny, I have to be honest. But the thing is, they got past us. They got past us, and they still got the point. And I'm like, how? And it's usually down to they're able to go, like, right, well, if they've got lots of tanks, then we need a few snipers, we need... like a tank or 2 just to kind of bring the shields up and a guy to go in and do loads of damage, that kind of thing. So that even though it was a team of randoms, they're able to kind of work around that. And you can kind of see because when you have a hero and you see, right, okay, so this guy's playing this character, this player's playing this character, maybe, and the game will also give suggestions like, oh, you have too many of one type, try a different type. Like, you've got lots of defense characters, maybe have an offense character just to throw it in there, get the perfect balance. And just kind of throw that in. And you're like, well, you can switch up your playstyle on the fly. And I think that's one of the great parts of this game is that you can do that. Counter-Strike is one of the games I love. I fucking love Counter-Strike. I play lots of Counter-Strike. And it's very difficult to kind of switch things on the fly. Because there are some maps when you're working with a team, you're able to switch. Right, I'm gonna, instead of rushing a short on Dust 2, actually, let's go through mid, under, mid to CT and then up onto A, that kind of way. Sometimes they don't respect it. You can change things on the fly in that respect, but you can't change what guns you've got unless you've got kills to swap, and even then it's not that different. Running 5 AWPs on an attack is not a good idea, usually, unless you've got a whole team of trolls and somehow it works out. But then you've got Overwatch, where that's not necessarily a bad idea, but it depends on the team. It's usually always down to the team comp and who's playing, and I love the fact that that's a thing. Being able to switch things on the fly was what a lot of people said, oh, this is not going to make the game fun. Because, for example, most Team Fortress maps have, oh, you can have only 2 snipers. There's a limit on that. But then you got like ways to always get around it, and I think one of the whole thing, like advantages of this game being what it is that it's never going to be the same every time, unless you're playing literally the same character every match, which is not a bad thing. I mean, because I think it was he's the Archer Hanzo. I played him for like maybe 5 matches straight, both sides, and I still had a really good time. And then everything around me was changing, and that's one of the things I really liked as well. But being able to switch things on the fly means that you can think tactically and adapt to the situation literally like that. Not wait until the next round and see what happens. It's pretty much as you die, right, I'm going to switch character, completely change your playstyle, and just go. And because the matches and the rounds are very short, that's not a bad thing. And most of the characters, again, easy to learn, hard to master. If you're very good with like maybe 2-3 characters, switch between those 2 to 3 characters. But you'll occasionally like, actually, maybe those 2-3 characters won't work. I'll jump another one, get a couple kills, get used to it, and then you learn. The learning curve is really nice for this game. And it kind of links into the kill system as well. Like the kill system is nice. It's similar to Heroes of the Storm, which is, again, it's the Blizzard MOBA. You will have, there's like underneath your health bar, there's like a little bar, and every time you get a kill or you do something, like hold the point, sorry, I'm really bloated, you get like flame. I think it's just called on fire points. And that gets to a certain point, you are declared on fire, and like your portrait changes, and it just shows you're doing well. You can be, like, everyone on your team can be on fire, as it were. And that's like a really nice thing. But regardless, if you help on a kill, maybe you don't get the kill, like you help, like you say you get, out of all their damage, your help rating was like 49% out of the kill, and they got 51. That's a good thing. You helped on that kill. It will still claim you've eliminated, and it will claim if you do that like maybe 5 or 6 times, you will have a kill streak. But at the same time, but you actually haven't got the elimination. So I think that's how they've done it, is that you've got people who've got eliminations and people who just help on kills. But it doesn't say, oh no, you didn't kill him. Like, you didn't not kill him. Like, you helped. And here's a reward for helping. You now feel like you feel great. It's like, yeah, I killed like 6 guys in a row. This is awesome. But in reality, you didn't. And it's kind of like blessed ignorance in that respect, that you can have, say, no one, like, you kill, assist in loads of kills throughout the game, and you do really well. Dude, you think you've done really well. You don't really check how many eliminations you've got, because it doesn't show you that information unless you search for it. If you want to search for it, you can turn a kill feed on. That kind of blew my mind, because I didn't know that. I've played this game for maybe, I don't know, 20 hours, just with friends and just pissing about. I didn't know that there was a kill feed, but you can turn it on. And I discovered that when watching a video. Someone had it on. I'm like, oh, so there is a kill feed. Oh, that's such a good idea, because then you don't have to have it on if you don't want to. If you really want to know I'm doing really well, then have it on. If you don't really give a shit, then you're like, oh, there's no point having it on. I'm just trying to play the game, and like, oh, I got kill streaks and bloody blah, blah, blah. And you're like, well, that's a really nice game design, because it kind of helps everyone. Everyone's going to feel great playing the game, because if you want to look at it like, I am killing everyone, like dead serious, or I'm killing everyone not really giving a shit and just trying to have a good time. It panders to all of the demographic in that respect and does it really well. It does it really well, and I happily applaud that for it. Like, if I did a game similar to this, I'd probably have a feature like that. Because it's... You will know that you got the kill because you would have 100... It's like 0 to 100 on the flame. If you got 100, you got that kill by yourself, and you know you did. But it's the varying amounts as well. Like, you can get 75%, 50%, 40%, so on and so forth. And it's not. It doesn't punish you. It doesn't punish you for getting assists. It doesn't say, oh, you got less XP because you got an assist. Like, you still get flame, and you get claimed the kill. And then you've got, say, like, you maybe not get the elimination, but at that point you really don't care. It's not a game about caring about things unless you're playing ranked mode, which isn't out yet. But yeah. And the graphics and the maps feed into that. This Overwatch is a game about how much you care. If you don't care a lot and you just want to play a game, you just want to go in, shoot some guys, have some fun with your friends, you can do that. If you want to get serious and you want to, like, right, I'm going to get all these kills, I need to plan my position, I want to get loads of wins and then do competitive and get high rank, you can do that. And it's not going to punish you. You're not going to have, like, you're not going to get stomped into the ground. Say, if you did that in League, like, oh, I'm just going to go and have a couple, like, games with my friends. Like, sometimes it's you usually having to think, oh, I need to get my CS up, I need to make sure I'm last hitting, I need to make sure where the jungler is so I know if I can get a gank or if I can go in, maybe take Rift Herald, take Dragon, that kind of thing. You still have it, like, it's semi-serious most of the time. But in Overwatch, it's not serious at all. And the game reflects that in the fact that it's a very cartoony art style, which is very different for WoW. For Blizzard, sorry. Blizzard usually have some mostly serious stuff. For example, the WoW Legion cinematic that was released when they announced that was quite serious in tone. A lot of the Hearthstone things are very light in tone, but it carries the same art style. StarCraft, very serious in tone. Diablo, very serious in tone. This is very happy, quirky, upbeat, and it just shows that they care about being who they are. Like, they're not holding themselves back in any respect. And it allows the players to be like, I just want to lose myself in a fun, bubbly world and just play and just have fun. They are trying to have fun. The developers are trying to have fun. And how can anyone be pissed off at that? Like, that's my opinion. Because the maps show it. The maps are beautifully designed. The art team did a huge, like, really good job on this game. The art is fantastic. In-game, cinematics, everything. It's just fantastically well done. Each map is different, and it looks different. It's not same grass, cinder block, swamp, Russian building, terrorist, that kind of thing. You've got a London map. You've got a map in Hollywood, like in the middle of like a Midwest America, just like canyons and shit. You've got Numbani, which is like an African city that's been really futurized and looks really fucking cool. There's a couple of there's like one in Japan, there's the one in Egypt, the Temple of Anubis. Each one is extremely different. So it's beautiful. It is beautiful, and it's just fun. It is just the essence of fun. The characters themselves are also the essence of fun. Each one has a very distinct personality, but they're all kind of bubbly, like upbeat, that kind of thing. And even the depressive one cracks a couple jokes every so often. And I mean, like, Reaper is pretty depressing for what he is. He just wants to kill everything, as does Widowmaker. They just want a job to do. But even then, they fit into the universe. They're like the couple of grouches that, while everyone else is trying to have fun, they're just like pissed off, that kind of thing. And each character will have like a series of costumes, huge amounts of costumes for each character. It starts off from just being recolors of their normal costume, to being slightly different, to be very different, and they're like the rare ones. So it's kind of like skins in League. Like you can get like ones that don't really change that much, and then you got ones that change a lot. And those come out of loot boxes, and it kind of brings in a lot of the good stuff about different esports, for example, like League and Counter-Strike, and kind of blends it together. Because you've got Counter-Strike has the crates, obviously, to get different gun skins. They do fucking nothing, but they're really, really nice looking. And you get a knife. You know, that one kind of matters because you can usually spend about 250 quid on a knife or sell it for that much, and you won't have to worry about games for ages. Or go on like a selling site or something. And you can get, say, like a really you get a decent skin drop, or you get a different voice line for an emote, or you get a different emote, or you get like, let me think, you get like little sprays, like in what was it, in Team Fortress, like you can just have a JPEG or a PNG and just spray it on the wall. Most people use it for porn, but in this game, at least in Overwatch, it's just like here's a huge selection of them. Some vary for the character, some vary for your account, and you can kind of put them on everything. And it's just like, well, it's fun, it's cool. Like there are some of the character designs for like some of the costumes are fucking cool. Like one of my favorite characters at the moment is her name's D.VA. She's an ex-StarCraft player from Korea who joined the military and piloted mechs. That's her thing. She's like only 20, but her whole thing, she's got like a mech, and she's like become a hero in that respect. And one of her costumes is either it makes her the mech look like a bee and her outfit to look bee-like, or like an old junker one, like she put it together with scrap metal. I'm like, that's fucking cool. Or you can get like different colors, or you can get the slightly more dramatic color change with, I think it's carbon fiber, which it looks like it's done in complete black and yellow carbon fiber, and it just kind of looks really streamlined, really cool, like. And a lot of the characters have that. I think Winston has like an astronaut costume or like a deep sea diver. Some of the more serious characters, for example, Soldier 76, who looks quite serious, has like an entire like. I was gonna say Dick Dastardly then, but that's not the guy. It's Evil Knievel. That's it. Evil Knievel like costume, like a helmet, a cape, and everything. And it's like, fuck it, why not? You can like. There's no limit on some of these character designs, so they can just be like, yep, fuck it, we're gonna have this, we're gonna have that, fuck it, why not? It kind of fits, or it's just for a bit of fun. I mean, why not? And at the end of the day, that like at the end of this long, almost half an hour rant, because I'm gonna trail it off now, is that it always comes down to, who cares? It is just a game about having fun. The whole point of this game is that you can care as much or little as possible. You can go in and just piss about with friends. You can go in and have a very serious time, try and get kill streaks, try and get good skins, and try and better yourself. Twitch shooting, Quake-style tactics, that kind of thing. That is encouraged. But it's not all there if you don't want it to be. You can just go, actually, I don't want to get so serious, just want to relax for a bit and just piss about. You can do that. And there's not that many games anymore that can do that in a shooter type setting. And that's why I like this game. I mean, it's coming out next month. This is only from the beta. These are just my opinions. Blizzard said it's not going to change that much apart from balancing issues. So, like, I feel like I can make a pretty honest opinion of it now. And my honest opinion is that it does things really well. It does things really well, but it does suffer in some respects. That it's kind of hard to explain. It's usually down to gameplay styles and, game modes. But those are very minor things. You're more playing it just for the experience over just playing as you would be on COD. Oh, I'm just going to play Search and Destroy and be really super serious. But you're more like, I'm just going to play a match. Fuck it. And yeah, fuck it. If you like shooters in any sort of respect, or you just kind of like the idea of it, or you just like the art style, give it a go. The open beta is still going on for the next couple of days. I'll try and get this video up as soon as possible. And if not, wait until it comes out. It'll be 30 quid on launch. You can get the Origins edition, which is about 45 in pounds anyway. If you check the link, because this channel's affiliated with Green Man Gaming, there is a link in the description. Head to that link, use the code, because I'll put it in the description, and it will say, this is for, you get 25% off Overwatch, I think, or 20 or 25% off Overwatch for the pre-order. Get that with the skins, tie it to your account, and then you've got Overwatch then. And you've got the special skins it comes with and all the bonus stuff. And then you can just play it and just have fun. That's all I've been, like, just have fun with it. Because there's not that many games that allow us to do that, you know? Go in, have fun. Because at the end of the day, fuck it. I guess that's the only really reasonable explanation I can give. So, thanks a lot for watching and listening to this kind of half-an-hour rant about Overwatch. Yeah, make sure to check everything in the description below. Check it will be all on the end card, so just check Green Man Gaming stuff. There'll be the code specifically for Overwatch in the description below. And Facebook, follow me on Twitter. I'll be tweeting more about like Overwatch and just opinions and everything. And yeah, it's all down there, so have a look. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time, guys.